VR is not ready yet, and let's get straight into why that is. VR is a medium of the future, and without sounding weird, is pretty much the only logical step forward for technology. A few days ago I saw an interview from 2005 where Steve Jobs said this.
The fundamental problem here is that headphones are a miraculous thing. You put on a pair of headphones and you get the same experience you get with a great pair of speakers, right? There's no such thing as headphones for video, right? There's not something I can carry with me that I can put on and it gives me the same experience I get when I'm watching my 50-inch plasma display at home. And until somebody invents that, you're going to have these opposing constraints.
Well, they have those huge goggles you can wear.
But they're lousy.
But you never get a
Steve Jobs seems to be talking about the lack of an equivalent experience to using high-quality speakers for video content when it comes to headphones. He says that headphones offer a fantastic audio experience comparable to great speakers, but that there is nothing like this for video. He does acknowledge the existence of large goggles, which is most likely referring to VR headsets, but dismisses them as lousy. But what's most important here is that Jobs is highlighting a gap in technology. While headphones provide an immersive audio experience, there isn't a similarly convenient and socially acceptable device for achieving a high-quality video experience on the go. He implies that until such a device is invented, there will be limitations and constraints of portable video consumption. But I am pretty sure Jobs never directly denied that VR isn't something that could be a socially acceptable VR device in the future. After all, the Apple Vision Pro's design patent has been accepted by the Patent Office in 2007. You heard right, 2007. That means that Apple's newest and first VR headset has been in development for at least 16 years. That was the time where Steve Jobs himself was still alive. And this was also barely a time where smartphones hadn't blown up yet, so Apple was already thinking a step ahead to where technology would lead to next, even before the smartphone boom. That leads us to today, with the Apple Vision Pro having been recently released. The Apple Vision Pro will obviously not sell well, because it isn't really consumer oriented, but just a first look for developers and content creators. Apple knows this. They are showing off what they can do with a VR headset for a high price, but in a few years Apple will release another VR headset which will be so much cheaper than the Vision Pro, so that people will go, wow, this is so much cheaper in comparison to the Vision Pro, and it will probably be a success. But the thing is, even if the Apple Vision Pro were, let's say, $700, it still wouldn't be a massive success socially. That's because the Vision Pro lacks social interactions. It doesn't have any apps where you can socialize other than FaceTime, and I think Marquez has made a fantastic point in his video talking about this issue. If the future generation Apple Visions are going to be a success socially and economically, they need to fulfill three important aspects: a weight and size reduction so that it won't be completely odd to look at, a price reduction so people actually give VR a try, and most importantly, more social features so that people can actually interact with each other, watch movies together, etc. If you think about it, these three aspects already apply to phones, which are, as we all know, a massive success. I know it's unfair to only look at Apple's side of things. There are many other companies like Meta, Vive, Valve, Pimax and whatnot, but Apple seems to be the only company that really looks at VR and thinks of making it socially acceptable. And also, it's the only company making people talk about VR again in the grand scheme. So that's kinda cool, isn't it? Anyways, I don't want to digress from the main topic of this video, so I'll make a cut here. I simply don't have the time to really make a long video about this topic, but I really wanted to cover it anyways. If you want to support me and see more, I'd really appreciate a sub and a like, both of which are free and support me immensely. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.